Hello, everyone. This is James with Unity of Greenville. Thanks for joining with me today. Appreciate it very much. We're talking practical spirituality. Practical spirituality. That is what Unity teaches. The positive and practical principles of spirituality, Christianity, and wise sayings of all people everywhere. So, today I want to talk a little bit more. We've been previewing my class that we're going to be starting November 14th on a Monday, which is keeping the peace. Keeping the peace. Do you know how to keep the peace? Do you know how to communicate effectively with others so that in your sharing, you are honoring the other person, you're hearing what they have to say, and they in turn are treating you the same way? So I've been studying this for a long time in my life, and I've discovered in my studies, excuse me, sometimes you got to sneeze. I've discovered that in all my studies that there are certain ways that we communicate that are more helpful than others. And one that I'll talk to you about for a few moments this morning, kind of give you a little preview of what we're going to be discussing, is the language of oneness. The language of oneness. See, it's different than the language of separation and division. In other words, many times the words we use and the spiritual emphasis that we place on the words and the energy that the words carry, what do they bring about? Do they bring about division and strife and separation, or do they bring about more of a oneness and a condition of meeting someone on the bridge of understanding, which is so important? So I want to ask you this morning, the words that you speak, do you find that they are beneficial to others? Do you use words and choose words and allow words that come out of your mouth that are from the heart? Do you speak from the heart, or do you speak from a critical mind? Or do you speak from a judgmental perspective, from a critical perspective? And this is something you have to think about for yourself. You have to look at yourself. You have to listen to yourself. You have to see how other people respond to you, how they react to you. There's a lot of folks that have so many relationship problems that are connected with their inability to communicate effectively with their partners, with their friends, with their family, with their coworkers. And so it creates many difficulties and problems for them, challenges in their life that hold them back. And so there's something called the living word, and the living word is the word that it is the concept, ideas, and truths that you have digested into yourself, into your own being, and that when you speak, you are speaking from that essence. You are sharing the true understanding of your heart, the true understanding of your spirit. And this is the living word. In the scriptures, it's called the Rhema word. And the word Rhema is the spoken word. It is a spoken word of truth that is able to bring healing and understanding and grace to the person that hears it. And this comes about through communion with the divine, communion with the divine, and communion with words and scriptures and teachings that are inspired, that come from the divine. They're living bread that we feed upon and that feed us and that we digest and that becomes a part of us. And then when we speak, it comes out through our language. And so Jesus was asked one time why he was doing what he did, and he wasn't eating, and they said, "Well, you must already have food to eat." They were thinking in a very literal, non-spiritual way. And he says, "Well, listen, guys," he said, "I have food to eat that you're not aware of, and that food is to do the will of the one who has sent me." In other words, he's saying, I'm here to fulfill my purpose. I'm here on purpose to be an example, to be a light, to be a model to the world of the Father within, the Christ within, the Spirit within. And that is my bread. That is what I feed upon every day. That is what nourishes me. That's what strengthens me so that I can be an available mouthpiece for the Rhema word, the living word, the divine word. And so that's where what you contemplate on, what you meditate on, what you think about, you bring about. What you think on becomes a part of you. What you dwell upon, if you're dwelling upon the negative aspects of life, then that will begin to take root inside of you and will begin to grow and will begin to take dominance in your life if you're not paying attention. So it's important to pay attention what you allow into your eye gate and your ear gate, because those things are what you're feeding upon. What you're feeding upon. That's why it's important to read good books and watch good movies and listen to good things, good teachings that help you, that uplift you. And if what you're listening to brings about fear, then I wonder if it's something that you should be listening to. That's just a question for you to consider. Does it bring faith? Does it increase your ability to speak your truth and to be authentic and to speak life rather than death? Because death is separation and life is oneness. Life is the bringing together of everything. That's what true life is. And when you experience that, then your life takes a change and goes in a positive way. And so, there are great books out there. One book that I read and course that I've studied was nonviolent communication. Nonviolent communication. So that the words that I speak are not bruising others. The words that I speak are not condemning others. The words that I speak are not hurting others. They're not abusing people emotionally and hurt in a hurtful way. And so it's important to speak from a place of love and centeredness and care and concern and blessing and upliftment. You might say, well, James, doesn't that get boring? Don't you want to hear about the latest gossip and find out what the lowdown is and the dirt is on the latest celebrity or the latest politician? Isn't that what you want to feed upon? And I say, no, I don't want to feed upon that. I don't want to get involved with the gossip. Sometimes I joke about it, the gossip and how, oh, what's the latest gossip, but to me, it's a joke because there's no reality in that. There's no substance in that. There's no life in that. That leads to death or separation from my divine power, my divine spirit, my divine essence. And so I want to live in a state of life. I want to live in a state of giving life to others and sharing and imparting that life to others. And so that is something that, I'm constantly thinking about and feeding upon, contemplating ideas and thoughts, contemplating, some of the books that I read and some of the teachings that I feed upon, the words of Jesus. I've meditated on those words and I've pictured myself being in those scenarios and just allowed it to become part of me. I've studied Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and heard their words over and over and over again until they begin to become part of me. And so when I speak, I may not be quoting exactly what they said or didn't say, but it's coming from my perspective and my understanding and my heart and my authenticity. And then it comes through me in a good way, in a positive way. And you can tell if you're coming from a spiritual perspective because your words are life, your words are healing, your words are uplifting. And believe me, you can heal people with your voice. You can heal people with your words. You can bring people together. You can heal relationships simply by changing your focus. It's not just being positive, but it's being open. It's being allowing. It's being in a state of listening and really hearing what people are saying and getting to the heart of the matter and not stuck all in the superficial stuff. You know, the song that was made popular a couple of years ago by Lady Gaga, you know, the idea of we're no longer in the shallow, you know, it's not the shallow now. We're in the deeper end of the pool. You know, we're really in a true relationship where we're sharing heart to heart and spirit to spirit, mind to mind. And that's the kind of relationships that we want. That's the kind of world that we want. People that are really connected to each other. Instead of beating each other up, we're there to serve each other and to help each other and to support one another. That's the kind of world that I'm looking for. And that, you know, whatever your politics are, I would invite you to make sure that your politics are going in that direction. Make sure that your politics are in alignment with your spirit, your heart, your authenticity, and your truth, and not just a bunch of words that you parrot from other people, you know, but truth in your being. That is what's really powerful. All right, well, that's just a little preview of some of what we're going to be talking about on keeping the peace. And so if you want to be part of this class, I invite you to go to our website, unitychurchofgreenville.org, and go to the events page and scroll down to where it says current events, and then you'll find the class there. And you can sign up for it, and you can give an offering of any amount. You know, no one is turned away because we want everybody to experience it. And it will be a lot of fun. It will be zoomed out beginning this next Monday at 6:30, and it will go for 3 weeks. We're going to talk about how to talk about difficult subjects with difficult people. Okay, and know when to engage and when not to engage. And so we're going to talk about some of these things. We're going to have plenty of notes, and you'll be able to use those notes and reference back to them. And you'll be able to ask questions. It's not just going to be me talking, but it's going to be interactive, and we'll be practicing these principles and these ideas. And so I invite you to be a part of that class. Hey, thanks for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to Sunday, 10:30 at Unity of Greenville. You can watch us right here on YouTube or Facebook or our website, or join us live and in person. You know, there's nothing like a live experience where you can touch and feel and see and experience. And there's a lot that happens. You know, someone told me the other day that they had experienced a healing in their they had some arthritic stiffness in their hands, and after the service it was just gone, you know. So I say, hey, that's wonderful. And you know, that kind of thing happens when you allow yourself to just be in the flow and be in the moment and allow that life force to do its work. All right, take care of yourself, enjoy the rest of the week, and look forward to seeing you next time. Have a pleasant day.